I'm making a really interesting dish, very popular on the island of Chios, called Kotopoulo me Kythonia. It's basically chicken braised with quince. The first thing I'm going to do is get my onions going, and a little bit of olive oil and butter. I'm gonna get my onions in here to brown them lightly. This is gonna take a few minutes. While the onions are cooking, I'm going to dredge the chicken. I've got seasoned flour here, and I like to use nice big pieces of thigh and breast for this. Just to get this nice and dredged. You want to shake off the excess. And I've just seasoned this with a little bit of salt and pepper. I like to do that because I like that nice crunchy exterior when it goes into the frying pan. These are ready to come out. These will continue to cook. As soon as the chicken is browned, I'm gonna add them back in. A little more butter. And a bit more olive oil. And shake off the excess if there's too much flour on here. And get this into the pan carefully. Let's see what's going on with the chicken. I think the one side is beautifully browned. That's exactly what we want. While the chicken is finishing up here, I'm gonna get started on the quince. I've already got one peeled, seeded, and quartered. I'm gonna get going on the next one. It's a little bit hard. Okay, there we go. There's a little Julia Child moment there. It's easier to peel if you cut it first. Quince is one of the oldest fruits in the Mediterranean. It's been esteemed since antiquity. Some people think it might even be the apple of discord that kind of an indirect way started the Trojan War. It's called Kythonia in Greek, and it's been associated with Crete, Kythonia. You want to get the core out, which is a little bit tough. There we go. And you want to add this to acidulated water or just sprinkle it right away with a little lemon juice because they will discolor very quickly. Chicken is nice and brown. Got that beautiful golden color. It's exactly what we're looking for. And by doing this, you sear in all those beautiful chicken juices and all the flavor. Next, I'm just adding my onions back to the chicken. I'm using fresh peeled plum tomatoes for this. You could easily use canned plum tomatoes or even chopped canned tomatoes. And I actually like to do this with my hands. I like to squeeze the tomato into the chicken. I like those uneven pieces. I like that rustic look. Even though this is rather a sophisticated dish, I don't worry too much about the seeds. I just think it looks really pretty like this. You get all that beautiful tomato juice. A little bit of white wine goes in next. A cinnamon stick, try to lodge it somewhere in the middle. A couple of bay leaves, and a little bit of salt and pepper. One tiny secret, because the quince actually is quite tannic and the tomatoes are a little bit acidic, just a pinch of sugar. Just to balance the acidity. It needs to cook for a total of about an hour. So while it's simmering, I'm gonna start on my quince and add those to the pot around halfway through cooking. Just a little bit of olive oil and the rest of this beautiful butter for the quince. These are gonna cook in the butter and olive oil until they get this beautiful golden luster on them. And then I'm going to add them to the pot with my chicken. The quince takes a little bit less time than a potato would. I want to thicken up my sauce a bit. So I'm adding some tomato paste, getting that into these beautiful pan juices. I can smell the cinnamon is great. The quince is ready. That's what we wanted. We wanted this nice caramelized color on it. The chicken has been simmering now for about 30, 35 minutes, so it doesn't have that much longer to go. By the time this comes out, the quince is going to be totally fork tender. And you can see they do look rather like potatoes, but they're a lot more flavorful. It's simmering over pretty low heat. This needs probably about another 20, 25 minutes. And I just want to add the absolute last ingredient to go in here, chopped fresh mint. The mint goes really nicely with the sweet but also slightly tannic flavor of the quince. The reveal. Wow. What have I revealed here? One of the most delicious recipes in all of Greek cooking. Let me add my mint to this. I'm just gonna get this in, sprinkle it around, and gently stir it in. I know the quince is nice and tender, so I don't want to break it apart. I am very excited about sharing my Kotopoulo με Kythonia, chicken and quince. Beautiful piece of chicken breast, a slice of quince. It's nice and caramelized, and a little bit of these delicious pan juices on top. Just calling out for some good bread. Looks really pretty. The aromas just coming out of this plate are amazing. Get a little bit of everything on here. The quince has just infused the entire dish with this beautiful, very, very subtle fruitiness. But there's a little bit of a tart note in the quince too. The chicken is perfectly cooked, it's really tender. So is the quince, you can slice right through it, but it's not so soft that it falls apart. The cinnamon just marries everything really beautifully. It's a beautiful pairing with the fruit and with the tomatoes, very Greek. I want to marry this with a big red. And I'm pairing it actually with a wine from northern Greece, from Epanomi, made with 3 local grape varieties from different parts of Greece. Mavroudi, Limnio, and Mavrotragano, from islands and mainland alike. I need a big, bold wine for this chicken dish. And this wine has this beautiful plum flavor, lots of raisin and earthy qualities like mocha. And it is a really nice pairing with this lovely fruit and cinnamon infused braised chicken dish. Isi here.